Hey, what's up, guys? Up here. So today we're going to be once again checking in on the Ethan Klein copyright infringement lawsuits he filed against Frogan, Denims, and Kaceytron. We're going to be looking at some very bad updates for them regarding their lawsuits, but we're also going to be looking at their dear leader, who's also struggling right now, and that's, of course, Hasan Piker, who is seething at the moment because he is losing the narrative in some spaces on the internet, and he's very, very upset about that. But let's start with the lawsuits, and let's start with Frogan. Frogan, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely cooked. She is fried at this point. She is in the worst spot of all three right now, and I made the mistake of looking at her behavior online during the first month of this lawsuit's filing, and I thought to myself, she's doing good because she's not talking about it, right? I thought, oh, she's lawyered up. They said, hey, don't talk about this, and she's preparing. Couldn't be further from the truth. Absolute L. I got it completely wrong. She's just trying to bury her head in the sand and wait for this thing to go away. And guess what? It's not going away. She has been served, even though it had to go through the court in a substitute fashion because she was not found at her home the 4 times they tried to serve her. But yeah, she's in a very bad place, and Ethan has made it clear that she is in huge trouble. So he said this: Frogan is literally about to default early next week. What has she done with the $50,000 she raised? We have not heard from her or her attorney at all. She has like 5 days to respond to our complaint or she loses by default. Now, I'm recording this like a day later, so she has about 4 days left to do something, right? And it seems like she doesn't have an attorney, and she might lose by default. Ethan Klein might get a default judgment on this, which basically means the court's going to give him what he's asking for, and it'll be a nightmare for Frogan. Now, of course, you can challenge the default judgment. If Frogan wakes up finally and does something and says, hey, that default judgment, I don't agree with it, she's got to come up with a valid excuse as to why she didn't respond. And clearly, she doesn't have one. She is aware of this lawsuit, obviously, and unless she has some like major health concern going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, she has no excuse. And that's part of how she would defeat this default judgment. And as Legal Mindset will explain, even if she successfully challenges the default judgment, that doesn't mean she wins the case and it goes away. It just means that they're starting over again at square one.
Is even if Frogie objects to the default, and even if the judge grants her motion, if everything goes the same way, you know what the end result is? You know what the end result is? It's not the case being dropped, kids. It's the case proceeding as normal. So if Frogan goes through all this extra work, all she's going to do is have the case proceed as normal. Literally, somebody in the chat said it. Who said it here? Square one. It's back at square one. Congratulations, Frogan. You literally did nothing. You do all this work for freaking nothing. Wow, Queen. Wow. So smart. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Sigma.
Yeah, I would never want to trade places with Frogan. She is absolutely cooked. At this point, she hasn't done anything to give the indication that she's going to challenge this lawsuit in any sort of a meaningful way. She's burying her head in the sand, hoping this will all just go away. But this is real life, and what she did has real consequences, and this stuff is not just going to go away because she ignores it. In fact, things are getting worse and worse. Now, I want to clarify something. I must have confused this with other sort of funding websites, but it appears that with GoFundMe, if she doesn't raise the $200,000 goal that she set, she doesn't raise all that money, it's not refunded. The amount that's been donated does not get automatically refunded. She'll keep the $35,000 or so she's raised. But the reason I bring that up is there are some circumstances where people will be refunded based on their donation. And you can see it's in times of rare cases where something isn't right. Basically scams, stuff like that. Is this not a scam? When you think about it, right? This was a GoFundMe for her legal defense fund. And right now, we have no indication that she even hired an attorney at this point. Where is the money even going? And wouldn't she have some sort of a responsibility to, I don't know, keep her donators in the loop as to what's going on with the legal defense fund that they are crowdsourcing for her? Like, wouldn't she give any sort of updates to these people who are donating so much money to her? Clearly nothing's going on, and if she's not actually spending this on a legal defense, then what is this whole GoFundMe about? Doesn't that seem like she's misusing the money that she's been given? It's not going towards the intended purpose of this legal defense fund? Very weird stuff. And you look around at the sort of donations here. Number one, she's got Oilers apparently at $10,000. One person donated 10 grand. That's almost a third of her total crowdfunding so far. And I look at the newest. Now, I don't know if this is including every single donation she's getting, but if this is real, if this is the last 4 donations, over the past week, she has raised, let's see, $75. She has raised $75 in 7 days with a $200,000 goal. I know I joke about it a lot, but I am pretty sure we raise more in super thanks on this channel, making fun of the GoFundMe, than she actually gets for the GoFundMe. It's kind of crazy. And if you want to help out with the super thanks in the comment section, you know, it goes towards a good cause. Cause I like money. I will give you the guarantee that every single super thanks, that money will go directly into my pocket, and that's where it's going to stay. That's right. But anyways, let's continue on to Denims. Okay, Denims is an interesting case this time because we don't really have anything to say directly about her. In the last episode of Dragon Ball where we talked about Denims, she kind of made the focus on other people, and I'll explain that again in just a second. But her fundraising campaign, not going well either. She's been stuck at the same number pretty much for a month now. Nothing too surprising there, but give her credit. She's actually lawyered up, and it seems like she's actually like making some effort here and trying to steer the ship in some sort of a direction, unlike Frogan, right? And last time we talked about this, where Denims and Ethan's lawyers agreed upon a subpoena that is targeting certain H3 snark mods and also some related Discord mods. And both parties not only agreed on this, they said it should be expedited, meaning it should happen as soon as possible. And here's the update. He got it. As reported by Ethan and the latest H3 podcast, the judge in his lawsuit approved the subpoena of Reddit and Discord, which is very bad news for those people, right? They're going to be unmasked. That's what it means. They're going to get some of their communications. They're also going to probably get the identities of these individuals who have been harassing and slandering Ethan and his family. It's not good news for them.
But then also, because some of your cohorts leaked your Discord messages to us, we have some of your Discord IDs. And guess what? We're gonna, if anyone's gonna have your real identity, it's gonna be right there. We're gonna have all your messages. Discord. And listen, don't try to erase them. If you erase them now, it's not gonna look good. And you should know that I'll still get them even if you erase them, because the companies hold.
Yeah, they don't really delete that stuff.
Yeah, and then that, and so I'm getting it, So you can erase, you can run, you can cry, you can piss, you can bitch, but I'm coming. And you're about to find out what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
There it is.
Yeah, if you're a filthy H3 snark mod, you are sweating in your mom's basement right now. You are shaken because this is not going to end well. And also, Ethan has pulled any clemency, okay? He has made several attempts to either take it easy on some of the people or maybe even work with them if they actually had any sort of intention to apologize or right the wrongs or not be, terrible people. But it's over. He says it's over. There's no more leniency, no more clemency will be granted. All of those offers have expired. It basically is what it is at this point for the people who have now been the subject of these subpoenas. But now let's move on to the final person in this little jigsaw puzzle here, Kaceytron. Yeah, Kaceytron, you know, she's trying. You know, bless her heart. She is actually trying. She's streaming pretty consistently. She is shilling the GoFundMe as much as possible, including this special announcement that was posted yesterday saying, it's time for Colts. I'm not reading that. My 24/7 summer marathon. This year, all ad revenue from my stream will go towards my GoFundMe. And of course, that's towards the legal defense. And this is the image. Okay, well, hopefully it works for her because she's a long ways away. She's raised the most still at 43,000, but she seems to be just stuck there. She hit the 42 mark like a month ago, so not much is happening. She's going to need a literal Hail Mary. Some oiler has to come in and just shower her with a gigantic donation or something. It's pretty fried at this point. But let's move on to the final person here, their dear leader, Hasan Piker. He's having a bit of a tough week as well, and his strongest soldiers, including his good old friend, this Houthi terrorist that he interviewed, is saying some weird things about Ethan. He said this in a tweet. Ethan Klein sends me poontang girls to try to seduce me and then uses it against me with threats, and I'm telling you not to try and do nothing. You're playing with fire. Huh? Did bro have a concussion just before typing this or something? What is he even trying to say? Oh man, the Houthi terrorists are in shambles right now. But also, Hasan Piker went on the NPR Podcast's YouTube channel, and you can just read the title alone and you can understand how insane this is. Hasan Piker, a himbo gateway drug to the left. A sentient human being. Type that out, unironically. And you can see it's going great. 5,000 likes versus 3,000 dislikes. Honestly, for Hasan Piker and his collaboration history, that's probably one of the better like-to-dislike ratios I have seen. But he's very upset about this. He is actually telling his audience that they have like some sort of a responsibility to go in there and start counter-brigading the comment section.
Americans, as a matter of fact, for example, have
comment sections are bullshit self-care. Oh no, they're being heavily brigaded, which of course, obviously, it is upon you, chatters, to go fucking seize control over the narrative, and show support to NPR, which is unfortunately in a dire state and needs the support.
Look, man, everyone wants to control the narrative online, but there comes a point where the only way you'll ever know peace as a content creator, especially one who gets a lot of people talking about them negatively, is to understand that you can't always control the narrative, and sometimes you just gotta let it go. And the people who don't like you are not going to change their mind. They're not going to change their mind when you tell your community to brigade the comment section. We've seen this happen before. He said the same thing when his Trash Taste episode came out, and immediately was getting dislike bombed, and he instructed his audience to go do a counter brigade. How did that work out? Not good at all. In fact, it made things worse. And even, I think it was CDawg VA, Connor came out and basically privately talked to Hasan and said, hey, knock it off, because you're going to make this worse. And that's exactly what happened. But the comments section is brutal, to say the least. You probably expected this. This person said, Hasan told people to brigade the comments with a crying, laughing face. My Gucci-wearing, Porsche-driving, multi-million-dollar home-owning socialist king. Stop calling him a gamer. That's slander. He hasn't fed us in months. Bro promotes terrorist propaganda on the regular. Bro needs to be on a watch list. So how much did this set back Hasan's PR budget? Now, this is something that Ethan raised, saying, Hasan, it doesn't matter how many puff pieces you buy. You will never outrun your own reputation. A nepo baby, terrorist-loving, America-hating, tanky, degenerate, and womanizing creep. He for sure spent at least $20,000 a month on PR based on my experience. Yeah, that would explain all the random, shameless puff pieces he's gotten. I mean, the things they say, the headlines, like the one we just saw, also the one where they said he's basically a progressive in a MAGA body, which is like the funniest self-own I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, this doesn't look good. It would make a lot of sense if he's paying for this stuff. I mean, how else would these people unironically do these things? But when it comes to Hasan and Ethan, there's been some clips like this going around where he discusses why he wouldn't sue Ethan Klein, basically saying he's fallen into irrelevancy, and that's the worst fate for Ethan, which, you know, this clip we're going to watch, totally not projection, by the way.
I'd pay good money to see you dress that short clown down again. That guy? No, because his views are dwindling and he's losing relevance as he continuously does the same old bullshit over and over again. And while it's incredibly satisfying to rip him a new asshole, the irony is when Sam Cedar and I did that, that was his best month. So there is no reason to do that. That's what he wants desperately. And basically what ended up happening was when he like launched this last Hail Mary lawsuit, he thought everyone was going to weirdly come to his defense, and then basically nobody did. So now he's just like moving in the direction of irrelevance, which is exactly what he fears. He will continuously yell into an increasingly smaller hug box of people, and that's it. That's the best possible thing you can do.
Yeah, I told you. This is projection. Definitely kind of speaking about himself in this clip, but and maybe he's self-aware enough to know what's going on. But anyways, that's going to do it for this lawsuit update. Pretty much seems like every couple of days something very funny happens. And I think the big thing here is Frogan, right? What's going to happen with Frogan? Are we going to see a default judgment? It's very possible. She has done nothing to help herself out in the situation. It's looking really bad. It's looking really bad for all of them, including the Snark mods and Discord mods who are going to be unmasked pretty soon. But anyways, that's going to do this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.